괜찮아지니까 We just get back 아무렇지 않게 baby Oh I don't wanna lose you by Oh 사실은 나 무서워 널 잃을까봐 원하면 원할수록 내가 작아져 Break up break up we break up make up Love me like you once used to please me You're my whispers in my head. What you gonna do? 선택의 기로에 왠지 견내려 해. 쉽지 않아도 진실한 나만의 beliefs. You know what they say, don't brag about what you have. Be careful and be humble, otherwise you should be ready to stumble. You know what they say, 자신감이 없니? 왜 당당하게 살지를 못해? Keep walking your way, don't look back. 너만의 길이야. Even when you fall, don't look back. 사실은 말이야. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. 'Cause it's only yours. Only yours, yeah. 쏟아지는 말 이미 어지러운 이 세상 속에서 어둠 속의 light 붙잡아 진실한 나만의 beliefs. 차가운 바람 그득한 이 앉아 내 마음속에 새겨둔 작은 위로를 또 꺼내야 하나. 우울함의 파도를 가라앉혀. But when you feel like giving up, remember, keep walking your way, don't look back. 너만의 길이야. Even when you fall, don't look back. 사실은 말이야. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. 'Cause it's only yours. Only yours, yeah. Nobody knows.
All right, and it seems like we've got that camera back up and running for y'all. My name is Allison.
And I am Splits.
Going into the USA versus New Zealand bracket game. This is, I believe, our third bracket game of the Open Division.
It sure is. So these skaters have had a huge day, with many of them already playing 2 or 3 games today already, as we come into these full-length games after our 30-minute seeding games earlier this morning.
Yeah, and just real quick before we go, we'll try and get some rosters up for you guys. So skating for the United States, we have number 02 Bomber, number 128 Madiator, number 143 Qzilla, number 144 Penny Rebel, number 15 So Feisty, number 177 Hellcat, number 187 Foxy Dash, number 2008 Dusty Mars, number 21 Pippa Raygun, number 3 Little Miss Savage, number 3377 Beasting, who's also your captain for this game, number 34 Ruby Red Slapper, number 39 The Flaming Diva, number 412 Bandelion, number 444 Felony, number 64 Kid Block, number 666 Mean Bean, number 7 Quick Silva, number 947 Seek and Destroy, and number 95 Lightning McQuinn.
And rolling out in the white, we have Team New Zealand, who are rolling with 010 Skeleton, 02 Gem Sky, 077 Cookie Monster, 09 Fearless, 101 Whiskers, 113 Taser, 13 Black Widow, 2007 Glitter Bomb, 21 Glider, 211 Dynamite, who is also their captain, 45 Alarm Her, 53 Rainbow Dash, 616 Ghost Pepper, 67 Scarface Claw, 77 Chaos, 83 Manic Mushrooms, and number 9 Ink Spill.
All right. Seems like skaters are lining up and just about to get ready for that first whistle. And we're off.
A quick lead on the outside there for the US, with 187 Foxy Dash making short work of that New Zealand defense.
Got number 3377 Beasting heading to the box for what seems to be a direction.
As we see 09 Fearless held up at the back of that Team US wall, really grinding against a strong tripod with their offense, trying to help out with that brace, but not quite getting them through there.
Foxy Dash with some moves on the outside line of turn 1, coming back around for what I believe is their second scoring pass.
And we have 09 Fearless out for Team New Zealand, coming around on their initial pass, hoping to score some points. Unfortunately, not quite getting past with that apex.
US's lead, but is not calling it with a quick one-footed turn on the inside apex by Foxy Dash, picking up 4 more points for the US. Big spill on the outside, taking Foxy all the way back to the back of the pack.
As Fearless is still working against that US wall at the back on the scoring pass, but US are certainly not making it easy to get those points.
Strong tripod up at the front from New Zealand. A little bit of footwork there by Foxy Dash to break it out of there with a little bit of help from her offense, now making her way back around the track.
On that 5th scoring pass this will be.
But it seems a cut track penalty assessed to Foxy from that inside line.
Team New Zealand all heading back to help out Fearless. Unfortunately, not quite getting through completing that pass, only getting 3 on their way through.
Foxy Dash still in the box in between jams, meaning that New Zealand will start with a power jam.
The lovely Fearless that we just saw taking on that first jam actually had their 16th birthday yesterday. It's amazing to remember that these skaters are all juniors with the incredible amount of athleticism and intensity that we're seeing out on this track.
And jam is on. We have Ghost Pepper out for New Zealand as the jammer trying to get lead. Foxy Dash on her way back from the penalty box, hoping to pick up lead herself. And pick up lead she does, but she takes a fall in the inside of the track and needs to recycle. So she is technically lead, but has to recomplete her initial pass.
Yeah, it was a solid shutdown from 207 Glitter Bomb from New Zealand there at the front of the pack.
Penalty being assessed to number 177 Hellcat on the US, leaving them down a blocker on the track.
Some fabulous footwork from Ghost Pepper at the front there, trying to make their way through, but 2-1 Pippa Raygon just shutting down that outside line. See, Foxy Dash.
We have a star pass to number 83. That is Manic Mushroom on New Zealand. Taken to the inside line by number 02 Bomber on Team US. Lining up for this next jam, we have a score of 27 for the Team US and 3 for New Zealand. And darting up the outside line there, we have number 2008,
Dusty Mars. With New Zealand fielding Black Widow, popping through there on that initial pass with some lovely footwork on the inside line. Well, Dusty Mars completes their first scoring pass for a lovely 4 points.
US down a blocker as Lightning McQuinn heads to the box.
As we see Black Widow there on their first scoring pass, trying to get themselves some points. And that Team US defense is just not having it.
Yeah, very strong tripod back there with number 7 Quicksilva and number 6'4 Kid Block really holding down the fort. See number 15 So Feisty taking out that New Zealand blocker to the outside line. Big fall from the US jammer, but she does make it out for another 4 points.
As we see Black Widow being recycled back there again with Team US just grinding that wall.
Some excellent offense played there by 6'4 Kid Block, pushing the New Zealand blockers out of play up the front. And a beautiful star pass to the New Zealand pivot.
That's 2-1-1. The New Zealand captain Dynamite taking the star. As we see, we start the next jam with 1 blocker apiece in the Spank Alley penalty box.
Some excellent work there from New Zealand at the end of that jam, making that star pass happen.
We see our wonderful team of officials calling an official review there. An official timeout. These crews have been working so incredibly hard. I was talking to some of our officials earlier today, and they are skating for many, many hours, doing many, many hours of NSOing paperwork, and even bringing water bottles to the announcers. We can see some love for Kid Block, number 6'4 on Team US there, coming through on our live stream chat.
Some fun facts about Kid Block. Kid Block comes from Columbia Junior Rollers back in the United States and plays rugby and guitar.
I feel like the skills that you would use in rugby would be very useful on a roller derby track.
Probably. I wonder how many of the New Zealand players also play rugby.
Yes, there's a very good chance that there might be some of them out there. New Zealand has a strong rugby team.
Like we have number 113 Taser on New Zealand, who plays rugby and boxing and thought derby would be a good fit. I agree. Although boxing's got some key difficulties in that you're not allowed to really use your hands.
Yeah. I think maybe the resilience and the tenacity would be the skills that you'd take from boxing into roller derby. It's really amazing reading some of these facts about our wonderful skaters that we had out there. There's so many that we can see started playing roller derby because their mums played roller derby.
Yeah, one thing I've realized talking to a lot of the parents around here is that a lot of them are actually also skaters or coaches or officials in some way, oftentimes before their kids started playing.
Yeah, absolutely. I know up in Mackay we've got a lot of families where we've got NSOs, referees, skaters, bench coaches, all sorts of roles that happen in roller derby, and it's really a family affair for a lot of our juniors. We know many skaters find their chosen family at roller derby, and then we've got the ones that bring their family along, which is just beautiful.
World Cup is also such a fun event because we have such a wide range of skaters at this event. We have skaters for whom this is their first year playing roller derby, such as number 616 on New Zealand, Ghost Pepper. We also have skaters for whom this is not their first World Cup. We had a lot of people back here 2 years ago in France who are back again in Australia.
Yeah, and we definitely see the juniors feeling the pain when they need to age out. But we're back and rolling with Team US Ruby Red Slapper out there jamming in the blue. Taking that lead as Fearless works against that wall on their initial pass.
Some nice footwork on the outside by Ruby Red Slipper and a strong two-wall in the back. Seems like the star has come off of Fearless's helmet, maybe looking for a star pass opportunity.
You can see the New Zealand pivot 2-on-1 captain Dynamite looking to take that star, but getting shut down on the inside line by,
I think that's number 2-1 Pippa Raygun.
Pippa Raygun has been doing some phenomenal work on those lines, really shutting things down. Oh, fast footwork from Ruby Red Slapper there. Straight around on the outside line for what was their third scoring pass.
But an illegal contact assessed to the New Zealand pivot heading to the box.
As we see Fearless 09 still with the jammer star in hand. Almost through on that inside line, but getting held up at the front by 9-5 Lightning McQueen.
Out now on her scoring pass with plenty of spirit. Getting fans all riled up as she makes her way around for a scoring pass for New Zealand. And we've got U.S. jammer Ruby Red Slapper in the Spank Alley penalty box for what looks like it was a cut track. And she gets released right at the end of the jam, so that jam went the full 2 minutes. It's always very relieving to see someone get out of the box right as the jam ends.
Especially when you are the jammer.
Yeah,
it's never a great time to be released. You don't want to be sitting there and have to go out for that second jam in a row.
We've got one of the U.S. coaches walking back out from the center in a very, very fun bald eagle costume.
Yep. We love roller derby. We love the fun and the spirit there. We've got Felony for Team USA making short work of that New Zealand wall, popping out for lead and already back around looking for that scoring pass.
Huge tumble as she hits that pack, but a very quick reform by New Zealand. Both teams bridging with a very spread out defense right now.
Oh, beautiful spin and rolling out of that New Zealand wall backwards for that scoring pass with a full 4 points to Felony, as Ghost Pepper still grinds against that Team US wall. Although it seems the star has been passed to the pivot. Believe it is number 9, Ink Spill, with the panty in hand.
A solid tripod in the back there, but some very good New Zealand offense, giving the New Zealand jammer a chance to eke through on the inside line, which she does. Seems like the U.S. is going to run it a bit longer. We could see the U.S. jammer looking to her coaches for guidance on what to do.
As we see Ink Spill sneaking their way through for a lovely 4 points on the outside. We see Felony again looking to the bench for some direction there and being told to keep going.
New Zealand making out for another 4 points. Felony not too far behind. So far we've got 24 points up on the board for U.S. and 8 points up for New Zealand.
Felony finally being given the nod to call it off, taking a smashing 24 points there in that jam, but New Zealand also securing 8, bringing our current score to Team US 89 and New Zealand 118.
Seems like we've got both teams at full strength out this jam. Pushing through the back of the pack, we see the Flaming Diva for Team US.
And Scarface Claw for New Zealand. Grinding against that New Zealand wall, but finding some space on the outside line.
Some quick recycling done by number 3 on the US.
Little Miss Savage, who is also wearing the pivot helmet cover there. Big spill from 2-1 Pippa Raygun, trying to catch Scarface Claw at the front.
Plenty of bridging going on as the Flaming Diva brings those New Zealand blockers all the way up, while the US blockers try to recycle that jammer all the way to the back of the pack. Big hit to the outside by number 5-3 on New Zealand. That is Rainbow Dash, drawing the Flaming Diva all the way back.
We can see Scarface Claw trying to make their way through those Team US blockers who just keep reappearing magically in front of them every moment they find some space.
That is the end of our jam. Seems for the United States up next, we'll have number 2008, Dusty Mars, who, fun fact, has a black belt in Taekwondo.
So this is New Zealand's second full-length game for today, as they did have one of our half-hour seeding games. So their third game for today, really. US coming in for their second.
Dusty Mars out with lead jammer, and the New Zealand jammer hopping up on that outside line. That is number 09, Fearless, once again, hoping to pick up some more points for New Zealand. Meanwhile, we've got number 15 on the U.S. that is so feisty in the Spank Alley penalty box for a direction. Some excellent offense being played on that inside line by New Zealand blocker 2-1.
And Fearless is certainly happy to be getting around with those scoring passes, seeing those 4 points, giving a smile and a wave to the New Zealand cheer squad that are over in the stands at the moment.
New Zealand with another wave of offense, hoping to get their jammer out for 4 more points. And Dusty Mars able to take advantage of some of that reforming happening while she was reapproaching, able to score 4 more points for Team US.
as we see Quicksilver, number 7, taking a turn in the Spank Alley penalty box for a forearms penalty, I believe.
Number 2-1 on New Zealand, Glider, hoping to make some of that offense happening again.
And it was certainly enough to distract so that Fearless could have a sneak around on the outside line.
Quicksilver coming back into the penalty box from the penalty box, leaving both teams at full. Oh, I spoke too soon. Number 2008, Dusty Mars, in the penalty box for what seems to be an illegal contact.
As we see the New Zealand wall coming in there to offer some defense to Fearless, but New Zealand not quite having the success they were hoping for against that Team US wall of blockers.
A 20-point jam for Team US and a 12-point jam for New Zealand.
Rounding our score out to 120 for Team US, 34 to New Zealand.
We've still got Dusty Mars in the penalty box as well as the Team US pivot, meaning that New Zealand will start this jam with a power jam and a pack advantage.
We see our officials taking a moment with their official timeout. Well, yes, we're being told that we would love to see the Eagle do some flying into the official review. Perhaps an official review, we shall see. Just looking for some clarification there.
Seems the Team US jammer was released from the penalty box. That may have been what that official timeout was about. And we have number 3-4, it seems, Ruby Red Slapper out for the US on the line now. So there will no longer be a power jam for Team New Zealand.
We can see so much love and support for all of our skaters out there. Some mentions for Felony and Dusty Mars and Hellcat coming through in our live stream chat as we see Black Widow jamming for New Zealand and Ruby Red Slapper out there for Team US.
Big push at the start of that jam there by number 13 Black Widow for New Zealand, but she does get sent to the box for a forearm penalty. Power jam opportunity for Team US, trying to make some offense happen on turn 3, and it is successful. Two US blockers released from the Spank Alley penalty box, leaving the US back at full strength out on the track.
We see Ruby Red Slapper making short work of the New Zealand blockers. They're coming around for their second scoring pass. The Team US blockers setting up, getting ready to receive Black Widow back from the box. Certainly looking fired up, that physicality coming out there.
US blockers falling over as Black Widow tries to break her way through that wall.
It's an extremely punchy jamming style there, just difficult to hold and making it through. We see the crowd celebrating.
Black Widow getting her fans hyped up on the outside of the track, coming back in hoping to score some more points for Team New Zealand.
As the Team New Zealand blockers do a great job of holding up Ruby Red Slappers there, making that pass a little bit more challenging.
Seems Black Widow tried to call off the jam, not realizing she is not lead. Seems like this jam might go the full 2 minutes, which is always exhausting for a jammer.
Ruby Red Slapper deciding to call it off there, taking the 16 points. Bringing our score up to 136 with New Zealand on 36 as well.
Seems like coming up on this next jam, we will have number 616 Ghost Pepper for New Zealand and number 444 Felony jamming for Team US. Lot of love out on the track between our skaters, some friendly high fives.
That's certainly something we've seen so much of across this Junior Roller Derby World Cup, the camaraderie from all of the skaters, the excitement to just be out there together, playing the sport that they love.
Seems like we have number 3377B Sting reporting to the Spank Alley penalty box. Not quite sure what the call was for, but I'm sure we'll find out soon. And jam is live. We saw Felony backing up there, getting some good momentum to pick up lead jam for Team US very soon into the jam. Meanwhile, Ghost Pepper fighting through that US wall. Felony squeezing through a couple of the Team New Zealand blockers. And a direction call on US blocker number 95, Lightning McQuinn.
Hop, skip, and a jump on the outside line there from Ghost Pepper, straight over the top of those US blockers. And Felony just gliding around that outside on one foot. Ghost Pepper taking a similar line with some very fancy toe stop work there on the outside.
Felony making use of the quick speed of the pack to shoot around the outside behind some of her blockers, almost using them like a shield.
Yeah, I believe that was maybe 02 Bomber just riding through on the back there. A lovely bit of offense.
And now we see 02 Bomber holding Ghost Pepper to all the way out of the inside line.
Both jammers on scoring passes here as we see Felony on their 5th scoring pass.
Brought all the way to the back of the pack by number 5-3 Rainbow Dash on Team New Zealand before calling off the jam.
New Zealand picking up another 4 points there, bringing that jam to an 8 points, and USA taking 21, rounding out our score to 157 to 44.
Jam is live. We have pushing through number 39, the Flaming Diva for Team US. And number 101, Whiskers, pushing that US wall all the way up.
As the Flaming Diva scoots through for another scoring pass, with Whiskers being held up in that wall. Again, we see that beautiful offense, truck and trailering almost from Team USS as our jammer follows through their offense.
A little bit of dancing there from 101 Whiskers on Team New Zealand as she prepares to head back into the pack. New Zealand blocker 5-3, that is Rainbow Dash, being assessed a direction penalty. Meanwhile, we've got Bandelion in the box, in the Spank Alley penalty box for a cut track. Seems like Bandelion is actually back on the track now. We see a star pass by Team New Zealand.
So that is number 9, Ink Spill, with helmet cover in hand, just being held back by those incredible US blockers. I think it is 177 Hellcat, and
Team US calls off the jam. We still have one Team New Zealand blocker in the Spank Alley penalty box. So US will start this jam with a small pack advantage. A lot of high fives from both teams and their coaches as they make their way back off the track. And jam is live. We've got Foxy Dash out there for Team US picking up lead, and it seems like we've got Fearless out there again for Team New Zealand, darting up that outside line to go on a scoring pass. Cut track being assessed to Foxy Dash, giving Team New Zealand a power jam, something Fearless makes great use of, picking up 4 points.
And see New Zealand setting up for some beautiful offense there. Captain 211 Dynamite taking out a Team US blocker.
That seems to be number 6'4" Kid being brought back by some of those Team New Zealand blockers, hoping to draw that pack back to give their jammer a little bit less space to have to push those blockers up at the front of the pack.
It is certainly a strong wall to be grinding against there. You see Foxy Dash out of the box with some fabulous footwork and jumping on that inside line straight around those New Zealand blockers.
Both teams now at full strength out on the track, and both teams scoring.
As we hear Team USA from the bench yelling, "What does the fox say?" supporting their amazing jammer Foxy Dash out there on the track. Beautiful offense there from the New Zealand blockers, helping Fearless through for a scoring pass.
And Foxy Dash going through that pack, barely being touched or blocked by another skater, making use of that fast movement.
Certainly lots of smiles and celebrations from Team New Zealand, celebrating all those small wins with every point. And that was a 16-point jam for the US and 8 for New Zealand. With just about 5 minutes left of our first half here.
We've got another chant from the Team US bench, making me think that we might have Dusty Mars out for Team US as a jammer.
It's certainly helpful as an announcer when we can hear who the jammers are from the chants coming from their support crew on the bench.
A big spill to the inside from Dusty Mars, but she does not pick up lead as she has a no pass, no penalties, giving number 616 on Team New Zealand, Ghost Pepper, lead jammer. Big smile on Ghost Pepper's face as she comes back into that pack with lead.
Ghost Pepper looking to the bench for some direction around.
Big hit by number 412, Bandelion on Team US.
Oh, as glider number 2-1 pops Dusty Mars out on that inside line with a big hit.
Team New Zealand calling it off, giving them a 4-3 jam in favor of Team New Zealand. Both teams at full strength as we go into this next jam. A lot of movement, and lead is assigned to Team US.
Ruby Red Slapper coming through there for lead.
Dynamite still fighting her way through the pack for Team New Zealand. Drawn back by number 15, So Feisty on Team US.
We've certainly seen the pivot panty on the the pivot helmet cover on Dynamite's head a few times in this game. This is the first time they're out as a jammer, unfortunately picking up a penalty there.
Power jam for Team US as they set up to play some offense for their jammer. Fast moving pack as the US holds back one of those Team New Zealand blockers. A lot of dancing on the inside by number 2007, Glitter Bomb. I believe she was refusing to get back in so that the U.S. could not keep the pack as far back as possible. Very clever strategy move by 2007, Glitter Bomb.
Certainly a lot of dancing and celebration happening from Team New Zealand there when they are getting knocked out. Bit of a strategy, perhaps.
There's been a lot of dancing by Team New Zealand this entire game. Meanwhile, we've got Ruby Red Slapper calling off the jam, leaving them with 16 points in that jam, bringing our score to 212 for Team US and 56 for New Zealand.
As we are in the dying minutes of our first half before we head to our half time in our full-length game here, we can see Fearless lining up behind the jammer line for New Zealand and Flaming Diva there for US with a quick lead.
Fearless getting taken to the outside of the track, but called on a cut track penalty and sent to the box. A little strong as she skates over to our Spank Alley penalty box, giving the US a power jam. The Flaming Diva coming in with her blockers not too far behind, ready to play offense, giving her a wide open inside lane.
Certainly seen some incredible offense from Team US, and the cohesion of these jammers and how they work with their offense for Team US has been pretty incredible to see out there. It's certainly making it a much easier job getting through these New Zealand walls, having such effective offense coming in with you.
Yeah, and very good track awareness from the coaches. Team US calling it off with more than 30 seconds left on the clock, while the Team New Zealand jammer is still in the box, giving them one last jam that's also a power start for them.
Certainly a nice way for US to round out this first half, coming in with a power jam.
Big hit to the inside by number 010, Skeleton on Team New Zealand, but the US jammer Felony still able to get lead. Meanwhile, Fearless back out on the track, hoping to complete that initial pass and score some more points for Team New Zealand.
Both jammers grinding against some beautiful defense happening, but Felony taking a little hop, skip, and a jump on that inside line to pop around.
Knocked to the inside line by So Feisty on Team US, all the way in the back of the pack. Meanwhile, Team New Zealand holding Felony pretty strongly in the front wall. Very slow moving front of the pack with some, big falls on the outside there.
You see Fearless still trying to find their way through this incredible US tripod, taking off the star, hoping to look for a pass.
Meanwhile, So Feisty still trying to fight through that front of the pack, being drawn all the way back by number 53, Rainbow Dash. And that seems to be the end of our jam and our half.
As we roll into the half, we see Team US sitting on 228 with Team New Zealand on 56.
We'll come back with a couple minutes left in intermission to get everything started for the second half. We'll see you all then.
Hit the scene and it's all green. On go, we ain't never doing small things. Being fitted for the crown, cause we all kings. If you know you got to shine, let them people know it's time for the show. Hit the scene and it's all green. On go, we ain't never doing small things. Being fitted for the crown, cause we all kings. If you know you got to shine, let them people know it's time for the show. Built to thrive, ain't just here for the ride. Don't know how I caught this stride, but since then it been live, I'm up early, cause I ain't missing the shot when I'm worthy. I've been chasing rings, they only want in the jersey, yeah. Slimmer than after the Benjamin versus Unlimited. Blood in this ink, I've been hemorrhaging, take me to imaging. No, they can't match with their energy, that's why I'm finna be taking the game to new levels, just peep how I'm sending it. I put the music up first and competition come last. Repetitions beat them beyond recognition. We are eons ahead, wait till the price catch up. I always knew I'd win, it's how my life set up. Slim don't fold, probably bumping some old in the whip. Game sold from the people much older out here. Keep patience in your calling, we'll reach you, but you probably prolong it if nobody can't teach you. But back to this greatness unfolding. I don't see nobody outpacing, I'm focused. Mental in shape and I ain't shaking this motion. This could make a movie on screen. When I step out there, it's seen with me go. Hit the scene and it's all green. On go, we ain't never doing small things. Being fitted for the crown, cause we all kings. If you know you got to shine, let them people know it's time for the show. Hit the scene and it's all green. On go, we ain't never doing small things. Being fitted for the crown, cause we all kings. If you know you got to shine, let them people know it's time for the show.
Love me or hate me, God knows you made it. When he laid his eyes on me, 여기 네 눈이 날 바라보는 눈빛이 이미 다 말해줘. No, I ain't gonna let anyone keep me down. No, no, you just gotta keep up, cause I ain't gonna slow down. Everyone just wanna get to know ya. 이미 시작된 걸. How do you think I'm sweet? I'm sweet, so sweet. You got stung by honeybee. You just wait and see. How do you think I'm sweet? I'm sweet, so sweet. 저희 키스는 없을 거야. 아마도 그럴 거야. Lazy lover under covers. 너 지금 이 느낌. Eating biscuits, sharing secrets. No, it's just you and me. No, I ain't gonna let anyone keep me down. No, no, you just gotta keep up, cause I ain't gonna slow down. No, everyone just wanna get to know ya. 이미 시작된 걸. How do you think I'm sweet? I'm sweet, so sweet. You got stung by honeybee. You just wait and see. How do you think I'm sweet?
It's on 0 penalties and a couple players who might be in some penalty trouble in the second half. We have number 9-5 Lightning McQuinn with 4 and number 7 Quicksilva with 3. As a reminder, now that we're back to full-length games, you foul out after your 7th penalty.
So if we head over to our New Zealand squad, so we can see that there's also several skaters on our New Zealand team sitting with 0 penalties, and the highest penalties on New Zealand is only 2. So they're having quite a clean game there, which is really fantastic to see. It's obviously paying off for them, keeping their blockers on the track.
Yeah, a lot lighter on the penalty front for Team New Zealand, something that we've seen all tournament. A lot of lighter penalty games for for the teams playing against Team US, and a lot of heavy penalty games and some foul outs even in the pool games from Team US.
Yeah, and it's a real testament because the fatigue that would be happening, and we often see a lot of penalties start to happen when the fatigue sets in. And we are sitting at about 6:47 p.m. here in Australia, and some of these skaters have been here skating. Team New Zealand's first game was at 8:55 this morning.
Oh my goodness, long day for Team New Zealand. But a
huge-
lot of morale out on the track. I mean, their fans are really showing up and really making some noise, showing their skaters some love.
Absolutely. And when we saw the incredible support crew for Team New Zealand over there, we could see some Maori flags being waved in the crowd as well, which for those of you watching is the First Nations people of New Zealand. They are very fierce warriors, or known to be very fierce warriors, as we see these New Zealand skaters come out here and emulate that same spirit.
This will be the second time that Team US and Team New Zealand have seen each other out over here on track 2, with the first time being in the pool game, where we saw, if I can find it, we saw Team New Zealand with scoring 72 points to the USA's 167. So certainly a wider point spread in this first half for both teams. Some more points scored by the US and some fewer points scored by New Zealand. Could be an effect of what we were talking about earlier with this being New Zealand's kind of third game today.
Yeah, absolutely. New Zealand taking on Australia earlier today, and then having to back it up, taking on Mexico just earlier in the first of the full-length games, with USA only having Mexico at the beginning of the day and then having a lovely rest until they could come into this game.
Yeah, and also having Mexico a couple hours later, skipping out on that very early morning. We've got games all day yesterday and all day today and all day tomorrow. It's quite a tournament for these kids, for these athletes.
And certainly for those officials as well, as I mentioned earlier, because we couldn't be rolling without our officials, and the crews are just incredible here. Many of those official crews doing, I couldn't even tell you how many laps.
I couldn't even keep up with that many laps, frankly. Some of our skating officials, we have Fighting Girlfriend, Sarge, John Rev Kennedy, Mr. Fox, Ray of Sunshine, Fouled Out, I don't know how to pronounce that.
Guinness?
And Guinness, or I'm
Guinness,
not sure. I
perhaps?
think
It could
that's
be.
what I would guess. And Doom.
And then our wonderful NSO crew out there today is Mischief Manager, Commander Chaos, Mischief Manager, Mercy, B-Rex, Muggles, Al, Roller Nerd, okay, Addy Slam, and Leo Slayer.
We've got our skaters coming back from a visual gear check, meaning that the second period of this game should begin shortly.
And we can see the Macarena happening on the New Zealand bench at the moment. The spirit is really high with this incredible team of skaters.
Seems like we've got Fearless and Foxy Dash out on the jam line for the start of the second half. And a rolling whistle means that we should be good to start soon.
Both teams starting this half with a full strength pack, all blockers out on track.
Some immediate offense played by number 3, Little Miss Savage on the inside line, but Foxy Dash taking the outside and picking up lead for Team US.
Sneaky dip there under 211, the New Zealand captain Dynamite. See Fearless taking off the helmet cover. I think getting it away to the pivot, who now has it in hand. Unfortunately stuck behind that Team US wall, but some beautiful offense there from Fearless helping them out.
That is number 6'7", Scarface Claw for Team New Zealand. Foxy Dash stuck behind all 4 Team New Zealand blockers at the back of the pack. Very slow-moving wall back there.
Team US coming all the way back with
Little offense played by Pippa Raygun as they bring that jammer back to the back of the pack. But Foxy's still stuck behind that wall. You see number 1-3, Black Widow, leaving a very solid force for Foxy Dash to try to push through. A direction being assessed on number 177, that is Hellcat for Team US, heading over to our Spank Alley penalty box.
As Scarface Claw still grinds against that Team US wall at the back, but Foxy Dash being held up by a solid New Zealand tripod there.
A very defensive jam this right now, something we haven't seen as much in this game, with both jammers not out for, I want to say, the last minute or so.
Yeah, we see Foxy Dash does hold the lead there and is coming through on that scoring pass, but Team New Zealand are certainly not making it easy.
Another penalty being assessed to number 2-1 Pippa Raygun on Team US, just as Hellcat re-enters the track.
Unfortunately, Scarface Claw picking up a cut track penalty there. We saw them look out at the outside pack ref with that disappointment to be going to the bin right at the end of the jam, as we see Team US rolling out for a full 30-second power jam.
Now Scarface Claw will return as a jammer, and Team New Zealand is still allowed to put out a new pivot, even though Scarface Claw did have the pivot cover on in the last jam. Once she took that jammer cover, she became the jammer, allowing Team New Zealand to put out a new pivot if Scarface Claw is in the box in between jams.
We can see number 2-1 Pippa Raygun also serving a penalty there, meaning that we have 3 blockers out there on track for Team US.
And it seems like we've got number 2008 Dusty Mars out there for Team US, hoping to pick up lead in this 30-second power start. And pick up lead she does, darting around the outside line.
That's some incredible speed there from Dusty Mars as well. That footwork at speed, the agility to just dodge around those blockers.
Bit of a chaotic pack around here on turn 4. Some flips and turns by Dusty Mars to get around the inside line of that straightaway.
Yeah, Black Widow trying to catch them on the inside line, but a slippery little scoot from Dusty Mars.
So Feisty taking Scarface Claw to the inside line, hoping to do it again, but Scarface Claw taking off the hat instead and passing it to their pivot, number 8-3. That is Manic Mushroom with a gorgeous star pass. Team New Zealand now outscoring.
It's the first time we've seen the Silver Fern, which is, I believe, what they have as a star on the jammer penny for the New Zealand team.
Yeah, some of the teams are allowed to have some different designs. So much spirit from that Team New Zealand jammer, number 8-3 Manic Mushroom, as she comes around the track to score. Some offense being played by number 2-1 Pippa Raygun.
Beautiful block from 1-3. I believe that is Black Widow for Team New Zealand, taking out Dusty Mars and bringing them back there.
And a call off by Team US. Yeah, you were talking earlier about the fern on the Team New Zealand helmet cover. A lot of the teams here, they're allowed to have a little bit of creative liberty with their helmet covers. So we saw earlier Team Denmark's pivot hat is a lightning bolt. And I think Canada has a maple leaf instead of a star for their for their helmet covers.
Yeah, it's really amazing to see those almost national emblems and things like that coming out across on those helmet covers.
We've got number 3 Little Miss Savage quickly out with lead for Team US. Team New Zealand jammer still fighting through the pack as Little Miss Savage comes clear up the inside line untouched. Jamming for Team New Zealand, we have number 101, that is Whiskers.
Strength from Whiskers there against that US wall. Unfortunately, picking up a penalty there.
And I think it may have been an illegal contact.
Yes, I think those Team US blockers may have been a down skater as they were trying to engage the tripod.
Power jam for Little Miss Savage as she comes around picking up 4 more points for Team US. Team US holding a blocker in the back of the pack, hoping to help Little Miss Savage with an easier time pushing those blockers out of play, unneeded as she dips to the outside line. That Team New Zealand blocker able to get back. That was number 010 Skeleton.
As we see Whiskers returning to the truck for New Zealand there. Team US bridging them all the way back there. No pass for Team New Zealand.
It seems we've got another official timeout called. We'll take this time in this official timeout to talk about some of our sponsors for this and partners for this event. We have a huge thank you to, first of all, the city of Logan, which is where this event is happening today. We are kind of more, the closest metro area that we've been talking about is Brisbane, but our actual venue is in the city of Logan. We actually had the mayor of the city of Logan come to our opening ceremonies a couple nights ago, which was a fun treat for our skaters and fans.
Yeah, I am a local Queenslander, not local to Brisbane. I am from North Queensland, which is probably about a 12-hour drive north, if we want to think about the size of Australia there. And
yeah, local being a 12-hour drive is...
Look, it's where we come to play because being regional, we definitely have to come to our major cities to get some derby happening in Australia. But certainly my entire feed was full of news stories all over the Australian local media, all about the Junior World Cup coming to Brisbane. There was a lot of excitement around that. And I think we might see some first-time derby fans out in the crowd who've just come along for a bit of a look at this crazy sport that we all love.
Yeah, just to see what we're up to, see what's going on here. So yeah, the City of Logan and the City of Logan Leisure Centers is what's hosting our event today. Seems like our official timeout is over. Now out there on the track, it seems like we have Fearless for Team New Zealand. And that looks like it may be the Flaming Diva for Team US. And it is the Flaming Diva picking up lead for Team US as Skeletons get sent to the Spank Alley penalty box for Team New Zealand, leaving them down 1 blocker.
We can see Fearless at the back there grinding against that Team US wall. Helmet cover in hand. Unfortunately, their captain 211 Dynamite is right at the front wearing that pivot penny, quite out of reach. Some go-go gadget arms would be fantastic in these moments, wouldn't it?
Certainly be useful for blockers if we could use arms.
Just to get the star out, really.
Flaming Diva getting out with a bit of a hop, skip, and a jump on that turn 4.
As we see Skeleton returning to truck.
I see a bit of a star pass attempt. Ooh, a bit of a fall from Flaming Diva after a small apex jump. Fearless has taken off the star and is trying to hand it off to her captain and pivot, number 211 Dynamite.
We see some beautiful pack control happening there from Beasting and Dynamite.
Yeah, Beasting, who was on that pivot, trying to prevent that star pass from happening. And also Beasting in that jam doing one of what I think is the most underappreciated jobs in Derby, which is bridging, keeping that pack together.
Absolutely. We can't block if there is no pack.
Doesn't get a lot of commentary because it doesn't get a lot of big hits, but really essential for all of the work that's being done at the front and at the back.
Absolutely. You can see some really smart derby happening in the bridging, just the responsiveness of moving increments as the pack does to maintain a pack.
We've got Ruby Red Slapper coming out for lead jam for Team US.
As Ghost Pepper is wearing the fern for Team New Zealand there.
Big one-on-one hit by number 8-3. That is Manic Mushroom for Team New Zealand, but Ruby Red Slapper still able to muscle her way through that pack. And a star pass to number 8-3, Manic Mushroom.
Manic Mushroom just taking some beautiful star passes there as the pivot for Team New Zealand.
Kinetic rushroom coming into that U.S. wall. And jam being called off. New Zealand picking up 2 points in that jam, leaving us at a 12-2 jam in favor of Team US.
Manic Mushroom just throwing that jammer helmet cover at the bench and heading back out to pivot yet again.
A real test of endurance, especially again on the third game of the day. Going in 2 jams in a row is already exhausting, much less as a jammer and then as a blocker again. All right, we've got Quicksilver out for Team US and Taser out for Team New Zealand. Quicksilver picking up lead jammer. Coming back in for that first scoring pass, but getting taken out to the outside line. Deciding to play it safe and recycle all the way to the back of the pack.
Gem Sky for New Zealand there, running Quicksilver all the way back, making them work for it. And not quite letting them out yet, as Quicksilver pops out at the top of the pack there.
A lot of driving being done by the Team New Zealand jammer number 113, Taser. Taser often backing up, knowing that their strength is really in driving forward, but those Team US blockers backing up right with that jammer, not letting that happen.
We see Quicksilver looking for a way through these New Zealand blockers as Hop's given a jump on the inside around that New Zealand crescent at the front.
And Quicksilver calls off the jam after scoring 8 points for Team US. Lots of love from the Team New Zealand bench for those skaters returning from the track.
Taser receiving some fabulous pats on the back there as coming out from a very hard-fought jam. We see Foxy Dash on the line for Team US and Fearless again for New Zealand.
A strong tripod up at the front of the pack for Team New Zealand. And again, we see those bridges. I think that's number 21, Pippa Raygun. And I can't quite see who it is for Team New Zealand.
That is Fearless.
Sorry, the bridge.
Yes.
I think it's number 077, Cookie Monster. Lead jam assigned to Foxy Dash. Some offense trying to be played by number 6-7 on Team New Zealand, that is Scarface Claw. With Foxy Dash flipping through the inside line to pick up 4 points for Team US.
We see Fearless still working on that Team US wall with the jammer helmet cover in hand, looking for a star pass just out of reach from Dynamite there, as Team US do a great job of keeping them apart.
Multiplayer penalty called on 077 Cookie Monster for Team New Zealand. Fearless passing off that helmet cover to number 211, their team captain Dynamite, but Dynamite getting stuck behind that same tripod of US blockers. Bandyline and Pippa Raygun trying to hold Dynamite back, with Little Miss Savage taking her to the inside line. Meanwhile, Foxy Dash given a back block penalty.
Opening up a power gem for Team New Zealand with Dynamite, their captain, Star still in hand, working on that initial pass.
This will likely be a power gem for the rest of this jam and maybe even the start of the next one for Team New Zealand. Team New Zealand still on their initial pass.
Team US doing a fantastic job trying to neutralize that offense, but New Zealand catching a goat at the back.
A split pack situation resulting in a couple of pack definition penalties.
We see some folks jumping across from the US Opens game that was just on at the same time here in the venue. We had 2 Team US happening on track 1 and track 2. Very difficult if you are a Team US fan to watch 2 games at once.
So very difficult if you are a Team US announcer to not be able to watch the other game.
So welcome if you have just joined us in our second half here. We have 16 minutes left on the clock. A 309 lead to US and 64 on the scoreboard for New Zealand.
A power start for Team US, that for Team New Zealand, that Foxy Dash quickly gets rid of, coming out of the box and picking up lead jam for Team US.
Leaping through that apex.
Meanwhile, 2007 Glitter Bomb for Team New Zealand fighting through a duo of So Feisty and Lightning McQuinn at the back of the pack.
We hear the inside pack refs saying not the jammer, as the star was not away there.
Yeah, we saw a very quick star pass attempt at the end of that jam right before it got called off.
It's great to see some love coming through for Team New Zealand there. They certainly have had a huge day of derby.
Seems lead may have been assigned. We heard the whistles blow. There it goes. Lead assigned to Dusty Mars for Team US.
We have Fearless again, number 09 out there for New Zealand.
A very solid tripod at the front of the pack. Number 177 Hellcat on Team US, hoping to play some offense to break that up. And break that up she did. Dusty Mars heading out, coming up around the track, sorry. Meanwhile, a star pass from Team New Zealand. That is now our jammer's now number 83, Manic Mushroom, once again as the pivot turned jammer. Big hit taking down number 412, Bandyline. Bandyline also sent to the box, presumably for something a bit earlier.
Manic Mushroom making it through for that initial pass, popping the fern on their head, coming around looking for some points, and being rewarded with a power jam as Team US has 3.
And it seemed like their jammer got a cut track earlier, giving New Zealand a huge pack advantage here. We've got only Pippa Raygun and I believe, is that Little Miss Savage? Oh, no, that's number 02 Bomber out on the track, blocking for Team US. But now the box is clear again, and we have both teams at full strength. Dusty Mars coming in, tripping over her own skater as Hellcat heads to the Spank Alley penalty box.
That is Jemski, number 02 for New Zealand. Lovely little tap out there on Dusty Mars, bringing her all the way back to the back.
And that is the end of our jam. That was an 11-5 jam in favor of the US. We've got some other skaters heading straight back out onto the track after being out. I think I just saw Black Widow skate to the bench and then straight back out onto the track. Some of these blockers going in twice in a row.
Well, absolutely. We saw that earlier with Manic Mushroom. Felony making some short work of the New Zealand defense there with a very quick lead.
Meanwhile, Ghost Pepper in the back of the pack being held by a duo with number 7 on Team US, that is Quicksilver, knocking her to the outside line.
As we see Ghost Pepper wearing the jammer helmet cover for Team New Zealand and trying to make their way through that US crescent at the back.
A star pass to the New Zealand pivot, making their way around Kid on Team US. Now we have number 9 Ink Spill jamming for Team New Zealand. Both jammers neck and neck around the track, hoping to score some points. Little hop on the inside line from Felony, picking up 4 more points. And Inkspill makes it out after taking a bit of a hit, but being unfazed.
We can see the excitement from the New Zealand fans there as they see those points getting on the board for Team New Zealand. Felony doing some very fabulous juking around those New Zealand blockers.
Number 2-1
Glider.
Glider taking out Felony to the edge of and to the outside of the track.
Lovely little high five there from the Team US jammer to Glider. A bit of a celebration of that amazing blocking that they were on the receiving end.
There's so much love between these teams. These skaters are so excited to see each other, often for the first time, playing internationally for most of these athletes. A huge feat and a huge celebration for all involved.
And the jam is on. Ooh.
Jam is on. It seems we have a skater returning to the bench who did not make it out onto the track on time. So the U.S. may be down a blocker during this jam.
We see Beasting with the star on their helmet for Team US as they zip around that track, taking lead.
Beasting, someone we've seen before as a blocker in this game, now taking that jammer hat and
beautiful scoot on the inside line right around the New Zealand blockers.
Big hit by Little Miss Savage to the outside line, taking out Fearless and drawing them all the way back to the pack. Meanwhile, Beasting picking up 4 more points for Team US. Fearless has taken the hat off and may be looking to pass it on to Dynamite once again. But unfortunately, a back block call on Beasting. Meanwhile, Fearless making it through their initial pass.
We can see Team New Zealand also with a blocker sitting in the Spank Alley penalty box.
And since Beasting was lead jammer, this will be a 2-minute jam. Some offense being played by Whiskers from Team New Zealand, hoping to get Fearless out and on another scoring pass for Team New Zealand. Hellcat not having any of it and taking Fearless to the outside of the track. Beasting coming back in. Meanwhile, Fearless with a one-footed backwards skate. Oh, and a big hit again on the outside just as Fearless was about to make it out.
Unfortunately, it did send 2-1 from Team US Pippa Raygun to take a rest in the Spank Alley penalty box, where they will stay.
And Fearless was actually able to complete that pass, picking up a clean and easy 4 points for Team New Zealand.
It was a 12-point jam for Team US and 4 for New Zealand, bringing our score to 357 to 80.
We have an official timeout right now. We can see one of the Team US coaches standing in the center of the track. Perhaps after talking to a ref, though I didn't catch why he walked out into the center.
Maybe we can have a look at some of these fun facts about our wonderful skaters that we have out there.
Something I thought was a very fun fact is that number 202 Jemski from Team New Zealand believes that roller derby makes you a better driver.
A better driver.
I would be very curious to hear the argument on why it makes you a better driver. I, for one, am not a very good driver, so not quite. I've at least got one counterexample.
Potentially it could be that peripheral vision that you need to watch who's coming from behind there and know what's going on all around you in the chaos of traffic and whatnot.
Though I guess they do say better driver. Doesn't necessarily mean a good driver.
That is true. We can see that it is Foxy Dash from US, loves going to the skate park. I imagine the footwork and the agility that you would need to pull off some stunts in the skate park would definitely help you on your skates on the flat track.
Seems we've got Jam is on with Ghost Pepper jamming for New Zealand and the Flaming Diva picking up a lead for Team US. A very strong tripod in the back of the pack by Team US and another very strong tripod in the front of the pack from Team New Zealand.
Both teams stretching that pack out.
A lot of backwards blocking action from 077 Cookie Monster.
We see Ghost Pepper with the star in hand, looking to get out and making it through on their initial pass.
A lot of hustle to get around that outside line before those blockers came up and caught her up.
Beautiful spin to get around those two back blockers, but that tripod reforming in front of Ghost Pepper. As we see 077 from New Zealand, 2077 Glitter Bomb trying to offer some support there. Oh, sorry, Cookie Monster, 077 Cookie Monster.
We hear some cheers from the what seems like it's the section of the crowd where Team US fans are sitting, shouting out to some of their skaters. And coming up on this next jam, we have some darting up the inside line by the Team New Zealand jammer. Meanwhile, Team US fighting up that outside, and Ruby Red Slapper picking up lead for Team US. Manic Mushroom in this time as a jammer, rather than as a pivot turned jammer. And Ruby Red Slapper making her way up that outside line. Meanwhile, I believe that is Bandyline who just took Manic Mushroom out to the outside of the track, and is now playing some offense for Ruby Red Slapper, breaking up that wall. We know jammers tend to like faster moving packs with more areas that they can slip through. A shorter jam with a quicker call off from the Team US jammer.
We can see some love coming through in the stream there, saying "Go Kiwis." Kiwi is an affectionate term that our lovely Team New Zealand skaters would be known as. We often refer to New Zealanders as Kiwis, which refers to the flightless native bird from New Zealand.
And I learned recently that Kiwis are nocturnal.
Ooh. They are very cute. If you've ever seen a Kiwi, it's the fluffiest little...
Oh, we've got Felony out picking up lead for Team US. Meanwhile, Fearless fighting through that back of the pack. Felony taken outside and assessed a cut track penalty. I believe that was due to the very quick dart back by number 9, Ink Spill on Team New Zealand, getting back there before Felony could see her run back. Fearless pushing up against just the last few Team US blockers, but unfortunately recycled back. And able to make it up on the outside line on her initial pass. This will be another 2-minute jam, so we've got another full minute left for New Zealand to score some points.
Felony is out of the bin and straight through on that inside line with a beautiful open up from the Team US blockers there for offense.
Fearless stuck behind Lightning McQuinn and Quicksilver on Team US.
New Zealand coming back there to offer some support and
opening
the inside
offense.
line.
Beautiful offense by Team New Zealand.
Felony just zooming around that track. Bit of a bump there on the way through. Unfortunately, receiving a penalty for a cut track as a result.
Seems like Felony may have gone out as she made that hit, or perhaps it was back from when she was in the pack. In the meantime, we've got Fearless coming through in the last around 10-ish seconds of this jam, hoping to pick up some more points for New Zealand. A lot of offense being played by 2007 Glitter Bomb, hoping to get a few more points for their jammer. And as that jam gets called off, we see that New Zealand did indeed pick up the full 4 points on that last pass. And we have Felony still in the Spank Alley penalty box.
New Zealand coming into that next jam with a power jam.
Team US coach running out into the center again.
It's not hard to miss them running in there with their eagle costume, but we are back with Black Widow jamming for Team New Zealand and taking the lead with a nice quick pass through the pack there.
Lots of cheering from the Team New Zealand bench. Lots of excitement about that lead jam. Big impact as Black Widow heads back into the pack. Felony coming in hot as well out from the Spank Alley penalty box, completing their initial pass. Black Widow stuck behind Little Miss Savage as the last blocker.
Another big sweep there from Team US blocker Hellcat on the outside.
Successfully drawing a cut on Black Widow.
So again, we will see another 2-minute jam as Black Widow heads to the Spank Alley penalty box.
Some attempts to call the jam off from the Team New Zealand blocker, but once from the Team New Zealand jammer, but once you get assessed a penalty, you lose your lead jammer status. Felony coming back in with about 50 more seconds to try to score points in this jam. Ooh, big fall.
Lovely
Couple big falls.
Lovely sweep there from 02 Jemski.
Black Widow re-entering in from the Spank Alley penalty box. Backing up to get a little bit more power as she heads into that pack. Really driving into that Team US pivot, Little Miss Savage.
Black Widow, such a physical jammer there coming in on those blockers, making it very difficult to hold them, needing that lovely big run up to come in on Team US blockers.
Meanwhile, Felony also slowed down by the Team New Zealand blockers. We've slowed this jam down quite a bit.
That was a 10-point jam for Team US and New Zealand picking up 4 points.
And we are coming in. We've got under a minute left on the game clock, meaning that this will likely be the last jam, not just of this half, but also of this game. We have Team United States at 399 points and Team New Zealand at 94. And jam is live. We see Foxy Dash taken out to the inside line by Team New Zealand.
Ghost Pepper jamming for Team New Zealand there.
Foxy Dash able to skirt back up that same inside line, and a star pass to the Team New Zealand pivot. A bit of a jump over some skaters as some people took a tumble. I believe that is Manic Mushroom once again with the helmet cover for Team New Zealand, trying to get an initial pass.
You can see Glider from Team New Zealand coming up there to offer some offense on the outside line, but not quite getting Manic Mushroom through there as the US blockers are just a churning wall.
Yeah, so Feisty not giving Manic Mushroom an inch of space to work with on that inside line on the straightaway. A very slow-moving back of the pack as Foxy Dash picks up 4 more points on the outside.
Oh, solid hit from Glider there, trying to take out number 9-5 to stop the run back of Manic Mushroom.
And a last-minute effort by Kid to hold Manic Mushroom back. With 30 seconds left in this jam, Manic Mushroom is now scoring now that she's put the helmet cover on.
We can hear Team USA support crew cheering very loud.
Gorgeous jump by Foxy Dash, picking up 4 more points. You've got Team New Zealand players in the box standing up, cheering on their team for these last 5 seconds.
And what a huge jam that was for our last jam, picking up 27 points.
Maybe even more. We're seeing some points come in from the ref.
So New Zealand getting a lovely 3 there.
Nice.
Bringing our final score to 426 for Team US and 97 to New Zealand as we await the official score.
Neither team, I don't remember if they did in the first half, but certainly neither team in the second half using any of their timeouts or any of their official reviews.
No, which is incredible considering the level of fatigue that these skaters would be experiencing out there. If you are going to stick around, we have Sweden coming up with Team Australia next on track 2. The final game of the day. And we do see that pass to our final score of 426 to 97.
A lot of cheers from the skaters, and we'll likely see them skate around the track soon to do their spectator lap. While that is happening, we will sign off and leave you to go watch the next game. Thank you so much for watching. This is Allison.
And I'm Splits.
What? Every single day going MIA. Yeah, I'm over, yeah, what more can I say? 너는 지루해, move out of the way. Just let it go, boy. 머리 bling bling, style bling bling. Bet you don't recognize me. Only love me when I'm leaving. Don't you know that it's so ironic? 'Cause I don't need you by my side. I'll be fine. 혼자가